The Guardian published an article on New Caledonia's aspirations for independence from France. The demonstrations began on May 13, sparked by voting reforms proposed by the French Parliament. The voice of local Kanaks is not being listened to, native Caledonians said. Macron's rushed visit was, even in the words of his own advisors, double or quits. A bet. But while he sought meetings across the political divide and acknowledged that inequalities had widened, his language, too, was revealing. The return of Republican order, he said pointedly, is the priority. He left New Caledonia after 18 hours on the ground, promising that the reforms that would give voting rights to tens of thousands of non-indigenous residents would not be pushed through by force, but the situation would be reviewed again within a month. On the roadblocks, protesters say a delay is not enough, and that the reforms should be withdrawn. The statements of President Macron are disappointing, said a 51-year-old Kanak on Friday. From a roadblock, Macron said security forces would remain as long as necessary, but FLNKA spokesperson Jimmy Nauna insisted the presence of French security forces, more than 3,000 are now on the ground, mostly in and around Nouméa, was inflaming the situation. Kanaks were wondering why Macron deploys the army. What are we doing here? This is not a war-torn country. We are not terrorists, activists claimed. Some call it a political situation, which needs a political solution, but others make clear that there are economic and social aspects to these protests too. Anger at the state among Kanaks is not confined to the voting reform issue. The Kanak are not being recognized for their true worth. They want a fair redistribution of wealth. What we ask of Macron is to recognize the legitimacy of the Kanak, announced the protesters. An immediate issue for France's president was the proposed electoral reform bill, but the island territory is marked by deep disparities. The poverty rate among indigenous Kanaks, the largest community, is 32.5%, compared to 9% among non-Kanaks. According to the 2019 census, those disparities are even clearer within education and employment statistics. Only 8% of Kanaks hold a university degree, and 46% hold no high school diploma. Meanwhile, 54% people of European background are university educated, with that proportion falling to 24% among people of mixed heritage. The 2019 census shows, still, many Kanak people in New Caledonia continue to push for independence. Macron is not our president, said one of the independence activists. Those who respect the Kanak people can live in peace with us, the 51-year-old Kanak protester concluded. As long as there is no independence, there will be no security.